Yeah, exactly. And he has some dark thoughts.
I can appreciate that too. Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's one of the things I like about it.
So we're about to get started on round 4 of Grand Prix Seattle. All the buys are done with. Everybody who's going to play is playing. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm here with Marshall Sutcliffe, and we are about to watch Tom Martell on your left play against Matt NASS on your right. There you get a look at Tom Martell. There you get a look at Matt NASS. They will.
Matt instantly.
They're both of them.
Yeah. These guys are so good at Magic that they actually just prefer to start with 6 hands to make it more challenging. Yeah. 6 card game.
So what's a hand you automatically mulligan like that quickly? Like you just look at it.
Most 1-landers, all 0-landers.
Do you
most 6-landers?
How do you feel about 2-landers?
On the play or on the draw?
On the play. You're always on the play.
Risky business. Most of the decks that I've been playing recently have been aggressive 2-drop, 3-drop type decks, and I'm apt to keep those hands.
Sure.
If I'm playing a more traditional curve deck with 3 or 4 5-drops, 2 or 3 to 4 4-drops, I better have some early action. And if I don't, I'm mulliganing. I'm pretty liberal with mulligans.
I find I win more when I mulligan. It was
shockingly.
Shocking, yeah.
Both players going to 6.
All business.
And that's got a base blue-white deck here. He's going to lead with the plains. And it looks like Martell, who's at a Reckless Wave.
Players in standard 8-man winner box number 1, please meet your judge over next to the left side of the registration table for Brian standing. 8-man standard
it is a wave.
Box.
That's a great start for any deck, generally speaking. Okay, so we see that, I believe that's a Grim in Tom Martell's hand. All right, he's just going to take this turn to go ahead and just flip his Reckless Wave. He might not have had a play to make anyway. So Matt has to decide if he wants to offer a trade or even a potential bluff with a trick here. There's 2 tricks he could represent. Moment of heroism or a plus. He's just going to shift the turn back, so he's not going to bother with the trade or the bluff. Grimgrin is definitely worth a splash if you're in base blue-red.
You start looking at.
I'm looking for the. See, you know, it's so easy to fall into these traps, but I think he's actually worth it. Tom's going to go ahead and attack.
Yeah, and pretty reasonable. If he didn't attack there, you feel pretty reasonable that he doesn't have the trick.
Right. Tough to follow.
But you'd be pretty happy attacking into the trick, though. Like, in other words, you'd rather just get it out of his hand.
Sure.
Is it Kessig Wolf?
It's a Kessig Wolf. And Matt just passes the turn back. So one of the things that Tom has to think about here if he wants to resolve a creature is something like...
He's thinking about a couple things. This is one of the things I love about the 4-spot. He has to think about Bone to Ash,
yes.
But he also has to think about Nephalia Sea Sky.
That's right, Sea Kite, right.
Sea Kite,
exactly. Yeah. And that's great. And then those are all in addition, since Matt happens to be blue-white, into the instant and flash spells that we talked about from white, which is Rebuke and...
Village, Village Bell Ringers.
Yep. Midnight Haunting.
Even the new what's the new Spirit?
Hollowhenge Spirit.
Hollowhenge Spirit, yeah.
Yep.
Which, by the way, have you Hollowhenge Spirit when someone's rebuked your guy before?
I haven't done it yet. I can't wait. I cannot wait to do that to somebody.
Oh no, I'm sorry, my creature is no longer attacking.
Yeah.
He's just tapped and hanging out here.
All right, and Matt lays the
Stitcher's Apprentice.
The turn 3 power play of Stitcher's Apprentice.
Sure.
He's representing Rebuke now, but he didn't have it last turn, so it's likely he will this turn, of course. Also, he probably drew this.
It looks like he's just representing bad hand post mulligan. You know.
That's right. And that explains the trade a lot better too.
Well, I mean, again, blue-red, there's a...
Well, we've got a makeshift mauler now.
Yeah.
So that made a lot of sense why he wanted to get his Reckless Waif into the graveyard.
Yeah, and get his Heretic off the board.
Right. That too, good point.
Yeah.
Wow, so that was actually
yeah, double.
a very nice trade for Tom. All right, and Matt didn't do anything on end step, so I think your read is right here. He is going to smite the Monstrous. The Mauler.
And bash.
And he's getting in there.
Bash.
Yeah, because he can't activate it this turn anyway, so might as well. He's not blocking. It's like Tom is not short on lands, but he lands the big 6-drop Markov Warlord.
Yeah.
What a game-impactful swinging spell. Now, in this case, it isn't one of those game-breaking openers, but it's just a huge tempo
It's
swing.
just it's like attack, play a guy in attack.
Yeah, I mean, you get a Nightbird's Clutches for free.
Yeah.
I mean, however you want to equate the mana, but that's impressive. In this case, it's just haste, but... So Matt's at 7, and kind of desperately looking to stabilize here. If he taps this mana and doesn't have an island, then he's not going to get to do the block with my guy activated and leave myself with the guy.
Oh,
back.
Towergeist, my favorite.
This is a card that I want to be better than it's been for me. As an individual card, it's fantastic,
Players,
but I really want it.
Infinite Draft number 1, please meet your judge at the judges station. Players for Infinite Draft number 1.
I love the card. I've been playing it a lot in draft, but honestly, I've been drafting mana accelerators. Pretty I've been to the surprise of exactly no one, playing a lot of blue-green.
Yeah, you know.
But playing
Do you consider Mulcha a mana accelerator?
I do. I consider it. No, I consider it card advantage and mana consistency, and I'm gonna win the long game if I'm mulching.
Sure. You will.
Yeah.
I've seen your decks.
Yeah. But I tend to play almost like what I call a coarse ground pepper blue-green.
Looks
it's
like
semi-mill.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Matt tanked for quite a while on his decision for the Tower Guys, and he pitched an Evolving Wilds here, leaving him with 1 mana up. And Tom is representing lethal. Of course, Matt does have blockers. Nightbird's Clutches would probably do it here if that's what he had. Another Warlord as well. Looks like a Rack with Madness on his guy.
Oh, and that's Faith Shield.
Faith Shield to give it protection from red, which is really nice here because it's also going to be able to block.
Right.
Even he can trade for, or he can just eat the Kessig Wolf. It's probably going to mean that Tom doesn't have any attacks this turn.
Tom might want to still get in. He can still get in. No, he's not going to attack. He's going to wait.
No, because then he just has to let his wolf die, and Matt's going to probably just chump with the...
It doesn't seem terrible.
It leaves... That's true. I guess it does. It leaves him with a Warlord versus a Tower Guys, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
But Matt has to have something here, right? He might be flooding.
Right, but Matt's now also at the point in the game where he can block, make a token. He has the Stitcher's Apprentice.
That he can chain at least a couple turns.
Yeah.
I see that Matt has a Dissipate in his hand.
I think he's had all that the whole game.
This is one of the reasons. He's also got a Burden of Guilt. So we should see that come down here.
If he has Burden, then he can actually just lock the existing board up. I mean, Tom's only got 1 card left in his hand. He can lock this existing board up for the conceivable future.
How?
Well, I mean, he can just continually tap a guy, and then he also has he can just chain a blocker.
But he's going to run out of creatures because when you...
Well, I mean, you could still I can still block with my Towergeist and then make a token, and then next turn block with my token and make a token.
Okay.
Right. So I've got the existing board. I mean, it's not a great scenario to be in, right?
I understand.
I'm spending 3 mana to do it, but
no, that'll get him.
And he can actually afford to take a hit here.
He's going to tap this. He did leave mana up for Dissipate as well.
Yeah, he's going to probably take the hit here and go to... Nope. Interesting. Double blocks, you can't kill both of them with first strike.
Right.
Put him in order. He's not interested. He's like, I'm just going to trade. Awesome. I like this play a lot.
I like that play a lot, too. And if Martell has some type of a trick, he has a reasonable plan B of just sacking the guy that he...
It's a trick. He's got Dissipate, too.
Well, oh yeah, because of the straight up block. Yeah, you're right. Huh.
Nice.
Nice job, Matt. I like it.
Like we're just getting too tricky. We're like, yeah, and then he can tie up his mana for the next 8 turns and do nothing.
Or he can just
just kill the
damn play he should do.
He's like, I'm going to put this guy in front.
So it looks like he's going to order the tower guys first, give it first strike. He's going to trade a tower guys for his guy. So now Matt has to decide if he thinks that Tom...
He can just sack it, but he doesn't want to.
Because he wants to... And he is going to go ahead and do his trick. So Matt is probably forced to just dissipate this.
Yeah, that's fine. It's burning oil, right?
And it's burning oil.
Yeah,
and
get rid of it.
Dissipate target to being exiled now as opposed to no more flash.
Yeah, in case, you don't know that Tom doesn't have the ability to flash it back. I don't believe it does, but...
Could be a grotto or something.
Yeah.
All right, well, Matt seems to have stabilized here, although his board presence is a little meager with just the 1-2.
Yeah, he's at 7.
Does he have a Selfless Cathar or any... Is it time to get his beat down on? Is he gonna? Are we attacking?
I mean, we're clearly attacking here,
right? I mean, would you consider just cashing this thing in and making a 2/2 and then start? How important is this 1 damage versus?
Sure, versus 2 damage next turn, which is exactly the same as if you'd attack this turn.
Which for the first turn, but then after that, the returns start becoming tangible. All right. Got there.
I like it.
You go to 18, and it is a Selfless Cathar, and Matt's got an island. This is untapped. Go to attack, stab that guy. All right. Looks like that's a land. I think we're just going to see Tom shut the turn back here. All right, 18 turn clock. Got there. I guess it's more than that. 6 turn clock.
Your event is about to start. Please report to public events tables 1 to 25, and seating will be being posted momentarily.
Now you have to start thinking about, like, he's just going to attack.
He's just going to hit him 6 times in a row.
You could also just, like, make a 2/2, cash the Cathar for a 2/2 and make his apprentice a 2/3.
He could. That's true.
But,
right, that gets tapped, and it looks like Tom's flooding a bit here. He's drawn another land. He's got 9 out now. I think he just pointed that out to Matt. Is that the second Stitcher's Apprentice that I see?
Oh, good Lord, I hope not.
It is.
Is it really? So was he very happy with his deck when he showed it to you earlier?
He had some decisions that he was not 100% sure about. I asked him about a couple of cards that were in his sideboard that I liked better than the second Stitcher's Apprentice, but he's got a few other things that he can do with Stitcher's Apprentice in his deck that make a lot of sense.
Down comes the potato dog.
Russet Wolves coming in. Now he's going to sack a creature, and he's just going to trade in this one. Right, so we just upgraded it to a 2/2.
Little cross stitching.
Cross stitching.
It's not a flooded game. You gotta. we're scrapping for material.
He's got 2 lands in hand too. So. Well, the Russet Wolves is a nice addition to slow down the beats from Matt, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to actually attack. They'll just trade for a token or a Cathar or something.
So this is the first person to hit like strike gold, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hit some game-breaking spell. Oh, he's gonna. Oh, this isn't. Look at this guy. There isn't anything we forgot, is there? Oh, and look at this. We have a snap call, and he's just gonna turn it into another one. So it's basically a free roll, right? Like, he can do it. What did I miss?
He sacrificed the Selfless Cathar
to put the token on it.
Oh or the Elder Cathar.
There's
put black.
Okay.
There's an evil twin.
An evil. That's what it was. So it wasn't Grimgrin. It was an evil twin.
Okay.
And he's going to copy the Warlord, make that camp block, and attack it. So he's going to get in for 4.
So interestingly, first person to strike gold.
Yep, good call, yeah.
Is actually gold.
He drew his swamp, although he was floating out really hard. That was actually a land that changed the way this game is going to play out.
He had one card in his hand forever.
Yep. I thought it was Grimgrin at first, but...
So, I mean, now, NASS can still hold this board down for a while.
He can make a homunculus and just double block and trade it off.
Or he can
do
just...
the chain thing that
I think at this point he's just going to do the chain thing, but...
Oh, he's got a Crossway Vampire.
Oh, that's kind of a...
So he's going to target the homunculus token, tap your guy, right. He's going to... so now that forces Matt to make a homunculus, sack the one that can't block, and just chump apparently. There's a sea kite in his hand that I didn't see. So he's going to... So he sacked the homunculus that couldn't block, made another one, and he's going to double block on the 4/4. And he's actually going to be able to just trade the sea kite for his evil twin. Nice play.
Right, because it's 2/3. So exactly. He has 5 points of toughness and only 4 points of offense.
Yeah. Now, that'll leave Martell with a Crossway Vampire, but he always has the option to trade that off, too.
Yeah.
This is a very grindy game. That looks like another Burden of Guilt. So, if you're Matt Nass, do you slam Burden of Guilt on the Vampire and start beating down for 3?
He doesn't look like he wants to. Look at that face. He's just like, I don't know. Do I do this?
He's like, really?
He's experiencing the burden of guilt right here. He's just like, I don't know.
He sure is.
I can just...
I do it. I mean, I guess the board's fairly stable.
The thing is,
depends on what Matt hopes to draw.
Right. The thing is, he can do it and just start attacking for 2 right now.
For 3?
Or attack for 3. Yeah. Attack for 3. Well, the idea is he might want to keep his Citrus Apprentice open. Just in case there's another haste creature and just doesn't want to die.
The only haste creature that you're really worried about here, like the Ripper, the Airwolf, that doesn't kill him.
Sure.
So that's not. It's another Markov Warlord, and that's obviously holding back the.
Yeah.
Actually, holding back Homunculus does work against that because the trigger's going to go on. He's going to have to pick targets for it, and after that, Matt can make a token and block. But it's still.
Just attacks for 2. He's going to burden.
Yep. He's just no, because he left him back, so he can make a token now and trade it off if he wants. I mean, it was worth 1 more point of damage for him to burden and start beating, but almost. I mean, if Tom draws another Russet Wolves or something, then all of a sudden the board looks really bad for him. If Tom wants to attack, Matt will probably just trade the token.
Yep.
But that does leave Matt with only the Stitches.
We find it best if you organize your cards by set, then color, then alphabet.
Oh, look at this. He's choosing to just get another token and be able to attack for 4.
Okay. And it looks
there's a Moon
Martell
Harrow.
played a Moon Harrow. So now Matt's very happy. He kept the Burden of Guilt back.
Right.
And he's going to be able to not die as a result.
Yeah. Looks like a non-land.
Couldn't quite catch what it was. It's a blue card. Could be a Grip Tide.
It's a nail biter. Look at the table judge. He's like, oh my god, what's he going to play?
We all feel like that, don't you? I always feel like that when I watch people play Magic. So many different permutations from any given board state that you always feel nervous. And people always tend to make plays that you don't expect.
Sure.
It's really hard to get in the mind of the player. Right, he is going to Burden of Guilt here. And tap it.
Is he...
Now, is he going to attack? That would indicate that he had something.
Whatever it is, it costs 4.
It does cost 4. It could be his own Moon Heron, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it is a Grip Tide. Why would he do it main phase, though? It's a Grip Tide. Okay.
Because you don't care.
Because he's going to get it out of the way, and he wants to take away the draw state.
Yeah.
Yeah, because him drawing a Crossway Vampire is the least of his... Is a fine. You're fine with him drawing that.
Now you attack with one homunculus.
Yep.
Unless you drew something, in which case...
I think he drew a land. So.
Tom's down to 7.
You have 20 minutes for that. We have men's shooting.
Which is a lot more than 6 in this case.
Yeah.
Because, I think Matt actually just has another land in his hand here. So, see what Tom gets.
Looks like a live card.
His mana. This is Divination. Yeah, Divination. That is the kind of card you want to draw at this stage of the game. You have tons of mana, 2 cards in your hand.
This guy nervous eating behind it.
Everybody's nervous.
He's like, oh my gosh.
He's going to play Think Twice, another card that you want to draw.
I need another French fry.
It looks like he's got an island and a spell. I can't see what the spell is.
Riptide would be pretty sweet here.
Oh. Just kill a token.
3 more mana.
Kill your opponent.
Flashback
He's
thing
gonna
twice.
flash it
He's
back.
gone 4 cards deep this turn.
Yeah. Now he's used up the greater portion of his mana doing it, but still, this is what you want to do when you're flooded. Dig, dig, dig. I think he's got Mountain Island something. So he has to decide if he wants to trade off. Looks like he does.
Yep.
Which would suggest that he has
Coincidentally,
a backup
so does Matt.
The alternative didn't seem that good to him. And he's got
another Kessel Wolf.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a problem here for.
Absolutely.
There's no trade here.
Nope. And I think Matt just drew another land, so that means that he's got a turn. 2 planes in his hand. So it's all going to come down to Matt's next draw step.
Right. Because he's going to chump block this turn.
He's going to have to chump block, and then we'll see.
Maybe he can draw. Can he draw another Stitcher's Apprentice?
Okay, looks like Martell's down to 2 islands. There's a lot of lands in play here. So block, activate.
Yep.
And I think Martell's just going to play an island. Yeah, he didn't even do it. He just says go because he's got 100
What do we got?
That is a Silent Departure.
Oh, really?
One of my favorite cards, so that's going to buy him at least
2 turns, yeah.
This game is awesome. They have answered everything that each other's done and left each other just stone top decking. Goes to attacks, makes Matt use the mana. Guess who's back? And it does not have a follow-up play.
Have you ever gotten into the Cryptic Command Lock Unlimited? Where you like get to 6 land, and you're like Silent Departure your guy, and then you have like the Lost in Mist on your turn.
Yeah,
like,
that is
do
the
that,
best.
bounce that. And
playing anything that's near Cryptic Command Unlimited just feels absurd.
I once had a triple Lost in Mist deck with 2 Silent Departures, and you got to do a lot of that.
All right, there's a Butcher's Cleaver.
There's a Butcher's Cleaver.
So that's an important card here because if Matt draws
I mean, I don't know what he's going to draw exactly.
Well, he needs to draw a human with enough toughness. Oh, is that a
Mana or Gargoyle?
All right, this should do it. I can't think of outs here. I mean, something like Geist Honored Monk could stabilize him, but we're talking about a rare, no guarantee.
And NASS is not just throwing it in.
No, he's making sure. Okay, he did find a human. And it's got a cleaver on it. So it would take Martell to really come up with quite a convoluted scenario where he doesn't just ship his guys in here. I mean, I've heard about thinking yourself, but
Matt NASS is giving him the opportunity to do that.
I think that's correct. And
he's I've heard Tom will fall for a bluff.
The thing is that it's prudent, for Matt to do this, and it's also prudent for Tom. What he's doing is he's thinking about, are there any cards in the format that I'm worried about here? And there aren't.
Animate Mana Gargoyle.
Just look behind their bag full of stuff. You can get
He's going to tragic slip the guy anyway.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe. I mean, I guess there is a scenario where Tom might let's say that Matt has Rebuke somehow, and Tom decides that he doesn't want to send in send in his Wolf, because let's say that Matt has the lunge, the +2/+1 and first strike, and now he gains like 6 life and trades his creature, and he's still alive. So I like that play by Martell to just go ahead and take out the only blocker and just get in there. It's like they're boarding. Matt has one card that he's looking to bring in. I'm curious to see if he pulls out one of the Stitcher's Apprentices and puts in the card that that he showed me.
Well, it looks like he's got a clear card he wants to put in there.
He took it out. Okay, he put in. Yeah, I actually mentioned this while there. So what he put in is the Village Bell Ringers. Works really well with the Cleaver. It makes
it holds a Cleaver nicely.
Very nicely, and it's a nice combat trick, and it eats Kessig Wolves.
Sure.
So I think that's a absolutely great sideboard. I mean, I wonder if I would have main decked that over one of the...
I like Village Bell Ringers in general.
I do too. And if you have a Cleaver, its stock goes up a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're a good player like Matt, you can find spots to get a lot of value out of a card like Bell Ringers. Looks like Martell's doing a little shifting around here too. Is that a white card?
Looked like an Urgent Exorcism.
Exorcism?
He might have a white sideboard that he's going to.
I wonder if he's ditching the splash black for the Evil Twin plan and going into some potent white sideboard cards.
I mean, he doesn't have a ton of white. Looking at his I think I know what he might be doing here.
Okay.
I think he might have a bomb that he went to here instead of maybe feeling like Evil Twins just didn't see anything bombastic on the other side of the table.
No.
Probably feels like Matt was, if Matt's playing 2 Stitcher's Apprentices, probably feels like he was stretching his card pool to get to enough cards. Mm-hmm. Says like, I don't want to copy anything you have.
Yeah, I mean, copying a Homunculus token isn't the best. And also, if Matt does have a Stitcher's Apprentice, it makes the Evil Twin a little bit worse.
Sure, and white blue. We talked about Urgent Exorcism has a lot of targets.
Yes, especially against the blue. Yeah, what you're saying exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can kill creatures.
Plenty of them.
Yeah, and that's where the bar's set. And then when you expand that out to being able to kill other things like random enchantments,
yeah,
for sure, like Burden of Guilt, let's say.
Yeah. And he saw abundant targets right there.
2 Burden of Guilts that prevented him from winning.
He probably assumes there's a Bonds of Faith somewhere in there.
Yeah. Also, he's in blue, so we're talking about claustrophobia territory.
Sensory Dap.
Curse of the Skifsang. Curse? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. -13, -0.
Yeah.
Just in case you thought you were ever attacking with that again.
Chant of the Skifsang.
Chant of it, thank you.
Curse would be
They
different.
wouldn't want to call it a curse.
Yeah, they
that's
wouldn't
only
call it.
Player. I did, however, attack yesterday with twice with a creature with in 2 different drafts. So we did 2. One sealed, one draft. I attacked with a creature that had that on it. The first one, my opponent chanted my Niblis of the Urn.
Oh, is this the guy who taps whenever he attacks?
So I'm like, sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't get the damage, but you're going to get the... And then the other one, I had a Hellrider. So turned into a ping you. It's one you got to keep an eye out for. I've seen that a lot of times. A lot of players think that all of these enchantments that are out there are like Oblivion Rings. They just forget about the card forever.
Right. We talked about operational mistakes. Like you'll see a lot of times, I'll put a chant to the skiff, and then they'll just push the guy. They just push the guy off to the side, like into the no blocks, no attacks zone.
So this is where you next level that. I've done.
Oh, will you do that?
No, I've done Burden of Guilt on my opponent and had him do that and push it off to the side. And I'm looking at my hand and I really want to use up all my mana this turn. And I'm like, is he gonna remember? They don't sometimes.
Sure.
Like, I'll just be like, it's worth it, and they'll just be
then
go.
Then there's the next level version of that, which is you put the thing off to the side and you assume that they assume that you're not going to use it, and then you're like block,
or maybe don't block. a turn and then all of a sudden get him on it. Don't try these plays at home, kids. This is what happens when you draft too much, like you and I do, BD.
So a card I want to see this weekend, so I have my little imaginary bingo scorecard. And the card that I really want to see in someone's SeaTac, and this would be go to the sort of more multicolor strategy, which I'll try this. I want to see someone Mystic Retrieval.
I know you do.
That card's really good.
What's the ideal target for a Mystic
Brimstone Volley.
Volley you, get it back.
I mean, isn't that the kind of value you love in Magic?
See,
beyond
now
all
I'm
else?
attracted to this card. Like, you've actually got my ear. Because
You're like, okay, turn 3, Brimstone Volley, kill your guy. Turn 4, Mystic Retrieval, pick up my Brimstone Volley. You're like, Rashad's eyes just went wide.
You're not even to the next level yet. You haven't even bought back.
I'm going to buy it back.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Runic Repetition
That's
my
what I'm
Mystic
saying.
Retrieval. And then you Mystic Retrieval, your Runic Repetition, and next turn,
These are the type of things that BDM
is that
dreams
another
about.
win condition for the mail yourself deck?
Yeah, it is. It is. You could do that in draft.
Do you think he's joking? My one mountain and my one brimstone ball. Don't mill it.
Matt Ferrando, who works for me, top 16 Grand Prix Austin. He was playing the Spider Spawning deck, and he's been really big on the Mystic Retrieval package.
Okay.
Doing stuff and even playing Altar of the Lost and.
Jeez, he goes real deep.
Yeah.
So,
but going off just
how do you survive long enough to? Because I
don't know, man.
Okay, I mean, is it all?
I don't know. I'm
fortress
really
crabs?
just attacking for 2.
Yeah, me too. That's the thing.
I've been attacking a lot in this format, far more than I did in Triple Innistrad.
I'm the same, and I always assume that when I kill
Fortress
them,
Crab is the answer.
Yeah, but I assume that when I kill them, they're holding cards like what you're talking about. You know? That's like as I swing for lethal, I'm like, I wonder what that 4-drop he's had in his hand forever is. Probably that one. Hold on. Let's get back into this match. Attrition Festival. Did Tom go to 6 here?
Yeah.
Okay. Matt's going to lead with
Champion of the Parish.
Yeah. That's a solid start.
Oh! Tom has some number of those.
Of Forge Devil, so that's the one that pings a creature and pings you, and I am wary to think of a better use for it than what he just did. That was savage. If I was mad, I might just pick up my cards.
Yeah, you got me.
You got it. Can't recover.
Thraben Heretic, followed by Vampire Interloper.
Yeah, Interloper. Huh. So both players have curved out so far, 1-drop and the 2-drop. All right, so let's see what Matt, what kind of plan is Matt trying to craft for this game here. I think
he's like, I'm going to bash with my 2/2.
I'm going to hit you, yeah. It's only 1. All right, so I know that Matt has a bell ringer here.
Oh, yeah?
And I think it's probably reasonable just to use it to eat the Forge Devil.
Sure.
I mean, he might want to save it.
Yeah, why?
I think he wants to continue to develop his board, and that's just as important as what's going to happen in combat here.
Yep.
So the Forge Devil itself isn't a super important card now.
Use your mana. Like, what are you going to do?
That's it. It's all about using up your mana. I mean, the only other line that he could take is if he thought that Tom might be playing a.
I got to tell you what I would do here.
Okay, we have a tragic slip on the Heretic.
I would in combat have used my Thraben Heretic just in case Tom was going to go like, or did Tom just play his 3rd land this turn? Okay.
No, he had his land up.
He could have played another. Was it 4th?
Tom had 3. He had 3 open lands.
Right.
But he did get a chance to use his Heretic. So
I'm saying. So what's interesting there is, on let's say Tom had not played his 4th land. And I don't think he could, but you want to use your Heretic there in combat and not let him untap. Not let him go to second main phase, play an island, play Makeshift Mauler, because you have no opportunity to respond there.
That's right, because it's part of the cost.
Right. Yeah.
That's a great point. Main phasing your activations if you're not going to block for a Heretic is.
Or even there where you got to untap it during combat.
Yeah. So we are getting in there. Let's see if Matt has a 4-drop here. He doesn't. Well,
maybe.
Matt wants to play. Not a main phase. We know that he's got a Sea Kite. I don't know if he's got it in his hand, but we know that he has one. It looks like Tom partially lifted the top card, but I don't think it was an issue. It was a common thing.
Well, either that or someone just stole his deck.
It is gone. I can't see it now. There it is.
Hey,
Right
you got anything to trade?
He just starts throwing through. So let's see if there's a sea kite in the future here.
Matt's
No,
at least
just gonna take
Matt's at least like thinking about it though. He's like, oh, maybe.
Tom is just going to pass the turn back. So let's see if... I mean, he could also have a hollow henge.
Pass the turn. So what happened there at the end of the turn to the vampire? The vampire got grip-tided on top of his library.
Ah, okay. And then he just attacked for one.
Attention players in the afternoon seal. There are 5 minutes left of deck registration. If you need assistance, please raise your hand.
Matt draws his 5th land, but he's also got another in hand. He's going to attack for 1. And Matt's deck is so set up to race, except for that he just can't seem to find, the 3 or 4 power on board that he needs to put enough pressure. He keeps having to attack for 1 or 2. There's a sea kite, and he's also got silent departure in his hand as well for if Tom makes a big, dumps a bunch of mana into something. That's one of the things I do like about the Markov Warlord as well, is that it doesn't punish. You don't get punished as hard by a card like silent departure.
Sure.
I expect Matt to play his sea kite. There it is. He's going to block. And the gargoyle comes down. Now he actually does have the 3 power that I was just mentioning, and he'll probably just silent departure this if he doesn't have like a burden of guilt or something. I see a skillful lunge. He's just going to get in for 3 and just do this twice in a row. I like this. This is what I like to do in Innistrad.
Right.
This is me right here. Bounce your guy, attack you, and then just do it again and attack you again.
Oh, and it got dissipated.
Oh, did it? Oh,
yeah.
I did not see the dissipate.
Yeah.
Hey, there's your play. Now, he didn't get the bounce permanent.
Yeah.
That seems to be just fine by Matt. And he's
Tom's at 7, I think, here, right?
Yeah. There's a... Matt has put a lot of pressure on the board here, and he still has the silent departure in the graveyard, right? So... This is where being in red is kind of painful, because a lot of your creatures are just trying to... they have low toughness and low board impact. I see a tragic slip in Tom's hand, but that isn't going to do anything unless he can make something else die.
It looks like he also has a rack with madness,
he has a rack.
which is just like frustrating. Is like 2-3,
right
1-4. Yeah, a card I really like.
He's going to tragics. That doesn't work that way. Yeah, let's not do that. Rack with madness. So now the sea kite's taking 2 damage, and now he can. There you go. Now he's had the 2-for-1 himself to do this play, but he's taken essentially all the pressure off.
Oh yeah. He buys himself multiple turns.
Yeah. You never like to have to do that. It's always you feel like you're falling behind when you're forced to make a play like that, but he needed to do it here. That seems to be drawing a lot of lands again.
I'm curious how many lands he played.
I don't know.
Like, what do you do when you have a deck you don't like?
I usually just play 17. Sometimes you can play 16 if your curve's particularly low.
Oh,
his bomb comes down. He's got the apprentice. Another card that racked with madness.
Yeah.
Okay, Death's Caress is going to come down. And he's going to play it on the bell ringers before Matt has a chance to sack them with it. Stitcher's Apprentice. It's got summoning sickness. And he's also going to gain 4 life off of it.
Yeah.
So that doubles Tom's life total to 8.
So by the way, Chris Piccolo won again.
He did. Great.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Twitter. He's Meddling Mage on Twitter if you're not already following him.
And that's his invitational card.
Yeah. He is the Meddling Mage.
He is the Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
It's funny, I think a lot of people might not even know that because they reprinted it.
Right, yeah, without his art or gender or skin tone.
Yeah. He's a different person. So, is Matt just attacking for 1 here? Oh no, he made a token to grow his guy. Matt's a token and sacked it.
Matt's just like, Matt's going to just do a nice little progression here.
This was his game plan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when he showed me the deck, he said, this is what I want to be doing.
There's Burning Oil. He's like, all right, fine.
He's going to sack that now. That sucks, because if he would have gotten it above.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have behooved him to wait any longer. You know, you do really want to keep the pressure on while Tom has no board. Matt's at 14, so Tom is going to have a hard time coming up with a play that's going to crack back super hard. You do see at least one of the white cards that he boarded in his hand. Is that a Rage Thrower?
Yeah, it looks like it.
All right.
Huh? Pretty good against the Stitcher's Apprentice.
Yes, it is. Except for that, it looks like it just got smited.
Smote.
Yeah, smote. All right, so Matt's going to come in for 3 and put Tom to 5. And he's going to add an Elder Cathar to represent lethal here. So Tom is going to need to put something out to stabilize, and he doesn't have it.
So we're going to game 3.
All right. Yeah. Matt never lost grasp on that game. He was able to keep pressure up, even though there was at some points more pressure and less. It was always in his favor. The Dissipate play was pretty instrumental. How does Matt get through the Gargoyle? He has to have one of his Burden of Guilt or something.
Sure. Yeah, Burden of Guilt's excellent there.
I mean, his deck can't do damage like that, and if the thing's not flying, it's not going to kill it at all. He did have a smite.
Yeah.
If he ever activates it. I bet you Matt didn't want to show Tom that smite there. I mean, he was happy to use it, but Tom's going to remember that when we go to the next game, and if he gets his Gargoyle down. I kind of like it how Matt's deck has a lot of instants and flash spells, though. Like, if Matt has 4 untapped mana, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be Dissipate. It could just be a Bell Ringers. Could be a SeaTac.
Yeah. You know, and in the back of his mind, Tom has to be thinking about Bone to Ash. He doesn't know whether or not he has that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Especially when Tom's running 6-drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, put my 6-drop. He gets Bone to Ash. It's a huge swing.
Yeah.
It's a big investment on Tom's side. It's an entire turn and all of his mana and one of his more powerful spells, and if you were to lose it to a counter.
Both of these players have chosen to play when they've won the wall with what we've seen, right?
It makes sense. I think
this is not at all a draw first format.
I haven't been.
Yeah.
I had an opponent in the grinder that I played let me play first.
Yeah.
I thought it was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Right. I saw a mix of land and spells for
and it's like, we saw Tom as black-red. Yeah. He's not like black-red with a ton of removal. He's not like that grindy black-red deck.
We haven't seen a Brimstone Volley out of him.
Yeah, like sometimes if you're black-red, even in a format with a fast, like you might want to draw first because you just want more removal.
Oh yeah, because you can just
gather the townfolk from Matt Nass.
He can turn those into 2/2s later.
Yeah, and he could also start. He can also get that nut draw where he leads off with Champion of the Parish and then follows up with that. It's actually free on turn 2.
Right. What do we have here?
It looks like a Dark Ascension checklist card. So what is that? Markov's Chosen?
The Chosen, probably, yeah. I know what you're hoping it is.
What am I hoping it is?
Chalice.
Oh, man, I wish.
We know he's not playing that, though. Not Martell.
Yeah.
The guy, I played him online a couple of times just randomly.
Yeah.
He knows how to go deep. The guy can brew a little bit in draft for sure, but he knows when to, just like you know, he knows when to hang it up when he needs.
So that's the Chosen of Markov, yeah.
Yeah, so that
2/2 for 3, that can become a... Oh.
We've got a Ricochet coming down, and I think that Tom's going to just not attack this turn so that he can use the opportunity to transform, make it into a 4/4. We have a Bellringer's end step for Matt NASS. Okay. This is a very good versus evil opener here. Oh, we've got a Butcher's Cleaver.
Oh, there's the cleave.
So right now that's not going to do a lot, but on end step, Tom's going to use this opportunity to...
so you tap an untapped Vampire, and you tap the Chosen, and you get... It's a really clumsy card.
It's very clunky, because the Chosen can't have Summoning Sickness. Thankfully, whatever Vampire you have can. He's going to get in for 4 here, though. Like, Matt's tapped out and no equip 30 feet. If he wants to attack, he can. And it's going to get the benefit of the Ricochet, so if Matt doesn't block, then it'll become a 5/5.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a very, very grindy situation for Tom if he can't, like if he doesn't have a Torch Fiend or something to get rid of that Cleaver. He's going to have a hard time dealing with the Bellringers once it gets equipped. What we were talking about before.
Sure. But Tragic Slip will deal with that if you chump block or...
Good point. Tragic Slip gets you out of a lot of the situations, it turns out.
Yeah.
So Tom's really trying to decide how he wants to plan his turn.
Wow, we have gone to time.
This is time?
Well,
that first game was very long.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to get any extra time for being future match, or?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they will. All right, my plan to not be on camera with my glasses is failing miserably. I've been photographed. I've been videoed.
I just saw somebody, Graham from Loading Ready Run, came by to do a little video, and he got you. So Matt, I think ideally just wants to hit land drops here. He's got a Burden of Guilt in his hand. He's got plays he can make, but he needs to...
Warden of the Wall?
A Warden of the Wall comes down. That's tapped.
Is he going to just Tragic Slip the Bellringer? He's like, I just don't want to get this game out of hand.
I fully agree with that play because he can end up trading for this token. It is a human, so so Matt will get a
So
life
that
bump.
was turn 0. This is turn 1.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right? Did they don't get it? Did they get a time extension at all?
Might have 3 minutes.
Can we find out? Are they in extra turns? We're not sure if they're in extra turns or not. So that's a human that gets equipped. They have 3 extra minutes. They're not in extra turns.
Okay.
They do have 3 extra
They need
minutes.
the hustle, though.
So this is a game where someone can win it.
Yes, for sure.
So he's going to just attack with his Ricochet.
He's got to think. If he had a way to get rid of that human, he would do it. He's going to shift the turn back, it looks like.
Interesting.
Matt's got a 4/1 lifelink human. And he has a grip of good spells in his hand, but he doesn't have the mana to cast all of them. So he's going to play an Unruly Mob, pass the turn back. There's nothing for 1 blue at instant outside of Thought Scour that does
certainly
anything.
looks like Tom is playing for, like, I don't want to... He's at the point where he's like, I don't want to lose this game.
Okay.
I mean, I felt like he...
Niblis of the Mist comes down, so this is the tap or untapper. Okay. It looks like they are kind of stealing up for a long game here, potentially,
which we know is not in their future.
We know it's not going to happen yet. So Matt's drawn an island, so he can Burden of Guilt, tap something, and also tap another thing, but it's going to be tough.
He's going to get in with his...
Yeah, now that... And Tom's going to trade. looks like. He's going to think about it. He trades it off. Matt gains 4.
Yep.
And there's a counter that's going to come on the mob. Matt just played his land and said go. So I think he's got a sea kite here.
Sure, but he can also just tap something with the Niblis and have dissipate.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm perfectly happy to just tap your chosen.
And Tom's in a position where he's going to need to start developing his board state.
He lets Tom go to his attack step.
He did let him go.
They just got, all right, so time just got called now, is what I've been told. So this is turn 0. Tom is in turn 0.
Okay.
Time got called on Tom's turn.
So can Tom win this?
I don't, seems pretty difficult.
He's going to get 3 turns on his side to do something?
There's a Smite the Monstrous.
Okay.
A lot of instance.
Yes.
In Matt's deck.
Yes. And
Urgent Exorcism on the Niblis.
On the Niblis. So...
And you get a counter on your...
Yeah, we need to get a counter on the Unruly Mob. Which...
It's not a May, right?
It is not a May.
Yeah. So that's actually a 3/3 Unruly Mob.
Burden of Guilt. And then he's going to equip. Is he
so that should be a 3/3, so he's... Attack for 6.
Does he know?
I don't know if he knows, but he's supposed to be attacking for 6 there, right? Because the Niblis died. Yeah. Unless the Niblis... Urgent Exorcism exile?
It exiles enchantments, but I think it just destroys spirits. No, and it doesn't exile. It destroys target, either one.
Silver Chase Fox.
The Fox exiles enchantments. Requiem Angel just came down on Martell's
Yeah, that was
side.
the bomb I thought he was going to side in.
Okay, you were right. He got a hit in as well.
It's like another Burden of Guilt.
Is this turn 3 here?
Yeah.
Again, though, that mob should have another counter on it.
Right. Yeah, that mob should have 2 counters. So that's another 6, but...
And that's a Tower Geist. Land.
He's like, you're more than welcome to attack here, sir.
Yeah, Matt's sitting pretty at 25 here. This is turn 4, I believe. Yeah, so Tom just shrugs and ships his guys in.
Sure. Yeah, Tom's supposed to be at 8 and not 10 here.
Seems pretty relevant here.
Yeah.
I mean, if Matt had a way to get rid of that...
I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Unruly Mob's not a May.
It is not a May. I know that for sure.
What? Okay.
Looks like they're going to end up in a draw here.
Yep.
I mean, Matt would have had to have a way to get rid of
he would have to deal with the wolf.
But he has 8 power on board right now.
Yeah. So Grip Tide or anything.
Silent Departure. Oh, looks like we got a draw out of this one, though.
All right.
That first game did go for a while.
Yeah, that first game was really long and grindy. Both players